G'day folks, welcome to another episode of Bandaged Cube Creations. Well, this particular puzzle is called the Advanced Y Cube. So there's the Y, and that was what appeared on the beginner Y Cube a fair while ago. And this one here has an extra, I guess you'd call it a clock, although technically a clock has that 2x1 bar plus the single facelet there. So this now actually becomes a slice. So two pairs and a slice, the slice running from right through to down. And the two pairs we've got down, back to down, back left, and down front to down front left. So holding it like that, that's the sort of thing that we see. There's the pairs on the bottom. So in terms of scrambling this, the easiest way that I found was actually to put those two together. They're kind of sticking out here at the moment. If I put them together like that, it becomes much easier just to do this sort of thing and get scrambling. The thing that I want to comment on is that I have found this easier to solve than the beginner Y cube. And that says to me one of a couple of possibilities. Firstly, that I made the beginner Y cube harder than it needed to be. I've had a look back at that and I'm not sure that I did. The other possibility is that this setup with the slice allows this to kind of perhaps a little bit more easily be treated and solved in this configuration as I'm doing it now. So you be the judge as you see what's happening with it. And I don't know, that I do remember with the beginner Y cube, it was in this configuration, and of course that's not there. So if you put them like this, that red part was not there and they're still separated. And I think possibly that is why the addition of that piece, strangely enough, actually kind of makes it potentially easier. Certainly in my own head and in the way that I've approached it, that is exactly what I found. So at this point, most stuff seems to be not where it should be. Just having a quick look, probably looks all right. So I would then start moving some of these pieces around and just moving the other faces as I do that. Obviously, this sort of thing is fixed here. It fixes this like, as though it's a bit of a fuse block sort of situation. So I'll turn what I can as I can. Mind doing that there. And not a whole lot else you can do apart from just moving these two clocks around. So that there looks not too bad. And I'm probably going to say, you know what, I'm happy enough with it. So for me, the beginning of the solve, obviously that's fixed. So I just wanted to get the two pairs back into their normal positions first, just to see what was what and how things are going to work. So I'll look at this one and just determine which side it's going on. Is it that side? No, because the green and the blue don't match. So it must be this side. That looks better. Then I've got to do something similar with this one. Now, I can't turn the face at the moment because of that, so I will just turn that off and store it before I turn this one around into position. Okay, so that is the general setup. Now, what I found is that if I turn them like that, I've kind of got this a little bit of a big block situation, but I'm not going to solve it as a big block. What I'm going to do is really hold it there and just, I suppose you could say I kind of am. I'm just not really looking to make a big block. It does turn out that way though. What kind of mystery am I talking about? Well, in order to keep these there, or in order to be able to turn faces as I want them, I do want to keep them in that position. So I've got this face to turn and this face to turn quite freely now. And the first thing that I'll do is deal with the pieces that are kind of trapped, I guess. So what I want to have, I'm going to be storing it like this. That's the piece that I'm interested in getting first. And that happens to be the blue-orange. So I'm going to get the blue-orange up onto the top face. And at this point, not entirely sure whether it should be blue or orange and how it's going to work. But I can see that what's happening is I'm going to turn this up, and if I think about where the blue orange is going, it's that piece there. So I'm going to turn it up like that, turn this off, and then bring this sort of thing on. And you can see, actually that's misoriented there. So that's no good. Let's just put that back down again and flip this piece. Flip that blue orange over. And now we should be good to go. I'll turn, in fact, I'll probably have that there, opposite it. Now that can then, I always get stuck here on whether it's there or there, so I'll just turn it there and just see what happens. That looks really good. Okay, so you can see that that is the correctly positioned piece, and I'm going to store it there. And I'm now going to do the same thing over here, which happens to be the green orange. So I'll get the green orange piece to the top, which is that one. Now I've already forgotten whether it's supposed to be orange or green on the top, but we'll try the same thing. It's going to be in that position. I think that is good. That's matching up nicely. And when we put both of them there, you can see, oh yeah, that's good. Okay, so now that those two little bits have been done, you can kind of see why I was saying, well, I sort of am solving a big block, but I'm not really solving a big block. But at the end of the day, that's the setup I've got. Now, I'll hold it like this, so if you want to look at that as a big block, there it is at the back. And I'm just going to start solving some edges. I guess the difficulty here is just knowing exactly which edges to solve, because really that goes there. So if I'm going to solve this edge, it's actually blue, yellow. So that's how I will approach things. But the first thing I want to do is these two middle layer edges here, because they do not change. So this one's going to be a white orange. So I'll bring firstly the white orange up to there, and then go ahead and place that. The one over this side is going to be yellow red, and for now I can just turn that in because I haven't done any other edges yet. Right, now it's time to do these two bottom ones. So not orange blue, but that one is actually yellow blue. That's the one that I want to place. Now, is that the correct? Yes, it is. And you'll know it's right because if you turn this to match that, that one there also matches. In the same way, this other bottom one is going to be blue red. And I'll need the blue on the bottom. So I'll just flip this one over, and then I can come up, place my piece, and that's looking good. So if we were to put these back now, we'll see we've got the blue orange and the green orange that we already had, and this blue red as well. And there's the other one, I can't even remember. Anyway, I think they're all good. That's where we were there. All of that is running really nicely. So these, anytime you get kind of, have I done the right edges? Just turn it like that and you'll see, yes, that's all good. This orange yellow clearly goes here. Now the question is, what's happening with these two pieces? So when I turn that into position, I can see that is correct. That is supposed to be, if we look at the actual piece it's supposed to be green yellow going there. And this one is supposed to be a green red. Well, that tells me that I've got a swap of two edges. And so what I can do for that is turn a face, which doesn't have any bandaged parts on it, one turn, and then resolve the edges. So I'll turn this face one turn, and I'm going to resolve this piece, then resolve that one. I'll turn that one turn, put the blue red back down there. Then I'm going to put the yellow red over here. Now that will either leave my final pieces solved or in a 3 cycle. And again, if we just move that over so it's correct, what can we see? The green yellow belongs there, the green red belongs there, the orange yellow belongs here. So that is a 3 cycle, and we can just go ahead and solve as we need to. Now, which direction do I need to go? Actually, don't know if it even matters. Every time I've done this, I have had the edges go correctly into position. So I'm not 100% sure if that's always going to happen, but it has so far. So that is all the edges done. We can turn them across and you'll see, yep, edges are all good. So the next thing that I want to do is to place some corners. And the two corners that I'm going to place first are these bottom two here. Now, of course, you could be holding it like this, just upside down. You can do it from this angle, it doesn't matter. It's all symmetrical. So this one here is a yellow, blue, orange, and you can see that yellow, blue, orange is already in position. This one over here is supposed to be white, blue, red. That is already in position. Now, that's kind of strange. If they weren't, what we would be doing is just using any kind of down, down, up, up to place each of them one at a time from these other positions, exactly like we would on a big block solve. So those two are in. That leaves 4 more corners. Now, this might seem slightly strange, but the problem corner is actually that one. And because of that, you might think, why is that the problem corner? Wouldn't it be this one because it's next to this? Well, no, because if I try and cycle and use this corner, I'm doing up, up, down, downs here to cycle. Then I want to turn the upper face. And as soon as I try and do any turn with this face, it does not work. So that's why I do want to take care of that one first. Now, I'm a little bit dismayed to see that that also is solved. I'm not happy with this. I'm going to do a bit of setup to get at least one of these unsolved and that one unsolved as well. Okay, so here I am. That is still solved. That's not, and that's not. So I'm going to proceed through the same order that I was looking at, which would be this one first. Again, putting that in position, it is a white, red, blue. So I would look and say the white, red, blue is there. It's not instantly obvious or clear what should be done. If it was over here or perhaps over here, it might be a little easier. So the question is, could I do a quick setup to get that piece to that piece there? So there's a number of ways I can approach this. The first one would be, what if I do that and then that? Could I then do a down, down, up, up to swap those two pieces? I absolutely could. And that's probably what I'll do. And the reason being, it does not disturb this yellow, blue, orange that was already in position down there. So that's probably what I would do. The other option is I could do a cycle, just cycle 3 pieces around like this. And so if I wanted the white, blue, red to go to here, I would just give that a twist and cycle those 3 pieces so it comes back. Another option would be, if none of those sort of things worked, I could swap those 2 pieces just with a down, down, up, up, which would put the white, red, blue here, and then swap those 2 pieces with a different one. So there's a few options. Probably the simplest is the one I said the first. So just a setup there and a setup there, and now just swap these 2. And then undo. So that one first and then that one. So that's left that in position. That's put that back there. We are now good to go. Let's take stock of things. I see that I've got yellow, green, orange needing to go to yellow, blue, red to white, green, red. So that one to that one to that one. So this is a case where I've got a cycle of pieces, but they're not really in great positions. And as I said, I want to get this one solved before I do anything else. I'm very happy to sacrifice one of these because this is a problematic piece. So this is supposed to be yellow, green, orange, which is over there. What I absolutely will do now is just swap those 2. Yes, that's going to come out, but it will leave me the last 3 pieces in perfect position. So by doing a down, down, up, up, it will not affect these 2 that I've already done. So that's in, that's in, that's in. Now, the pieces are either going to be solved or in just an ordinary 3 cycle. So I just need to look at the direction. Yellow, green, red is going to there. White, green, red to there. So the direction is that piece movement. So all I'm going to do here is an up, up, down, down to put that one in. Then move this around. And again, you might be thinking, oh, this is in the way. But it's not, because now I undo and I'm going up, up, down, down. When I turn that back, all of the corners will be in position. And so the only thing left to do is to twist them. Now to twist them, it is technically possible to do it like this. And I might even try a few if it works out. Because sometimes they can be in really annoying situations. And what I mean is that in order to twist them, I've got to do the same sort of move as I just did there, but with two up, up, down, downs. So if they are in this position on this face, it's probably possible. If they're over here, then I've got a choice. What I can do is flip it upside down and see if the same thing will happen. Now, the problem here is if I flip it upside down, that pair is no longer there, it's over here. So it's actually, this is a good one, that's not a good one. So what's another option I can do here? Well, I want to do orange, yellow, blue to be going anti-clockwise, and orange, green, yellow to be going clockwise. So here's what I'll do. I'll do a setup of front two, right. Now, if I bring them back and just think what that one there was going anti-clockwise. So the one at the back is anti-clockwise. I've now got two pieces here which I can twist in the normal fashion. So this one is a clockwise twist. So I'll turn this face first, up, up, down, down, twice. Then bring the other one in. And undo. Now, what I want to do now is untwist or unset up, and you'll see both of those have been twisted. They are actually the problematic corners. So that's what I was saying. Over this side, problematic. These, not so problematic. Now, ideally, what I'd like to do is find two of these corners that are together that need to twist in opposite directions. So let's just see what's here. That's got a twist anti-clockwise. That's got a twist anti, which means these two will be clockwise. So what I could do is give it one turn. In fact, let's have a look what's, are there four corners? Oh, there's actually only three. My apologies, I thought there was four corners there. There's only three, so they're all going to twist the same direction, anti-clockwise. So it, in a sense, doesn't really matter which two I do. I will twist this one to put this in position, so the last two will just turn up to there. So if that is going to twist anti-clockwise, this will twist clockwise. So away we go. You can see that's come in really nicely. That was not going to twist correctly because it was the other one. But now, as I said, I can just do a setup, put that there. These two are ready to go. So this one at the front, anti-clockwise. Or maybe it was clockwise because that didn't look right, did it? I don't know, maybe it is. No, it was all good. Undo that, and you can see the last little bit, just turn them back together. So that's the advanced Y cube. As I said at the start, I do feel like that's an easier solve than the beginner Y cube. I'm not entirely sure why, but I'll absolutely take it. Well, here is the puzzle for the next video. This one is called the Bandaged Bridge. Now, this is one that I presented on my channel years ago and wasn't made up by me. It was made up by Hunter Palshuk, who was a puzzle modder. I assume he's still around and kicking, but I haven't heard from him for a long time. But this was his suggestion for a cube, and it's a really good one. It's a good challenge. It's not too hard, but it makes you think a little bit. So the Bandaged Bridge, what it's got is on the yellow face, nothing. On the, which one was it? The orange face, nothing. Then we've got a pair front right to front right down. We've got a pair right back to right back down. And we've got a big clock down front to down back. So those are the three pieces that we've got. You can kind of probably see why it's called the Bandaged Bridge. Perhaps that's the water there, I don't know. But that is what we'll be looking at in the next video.